Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Monday, January 3rd, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in today's video, we're going to be doing a quick little recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about the injuries in play for tonight's slate, and then going over my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for tonight's slate as well. So without further ado, we'll get into it with the recap of yesterday's picks. So DraftKings had a little bit of an updated core prior to lock. So we had Dwayne Washington Jr., $3,300, looking for 17 points on him. He got to 28.75, so he was a hit. Ty Jerome, $4,200, looking for 21 points on him. He got to 18.75. He ended up being a miss, just not doing a whole heck of a lot yesterday overall. Then, speaking of a guy that really didn't do a lot yesterday, was Torrey Craig, $4,200, looking for 21 points on him. Only got to 3.5. He was a miss. He was 21 minutes yesterday, 0 for 5 shooting from the field. He really just had an assist, a rebound, or an assist and a steal or something like that. Just was not a good day for him overall. Expected him to play a little bit more minutes and expected him to do a little bit of something. Just didn't quite end up happening yesterday. Then we had Jalen Smith at power forward, $5,000, looking for 25 points on him. He got to 39, so he was a good hit. And then Damon Jones, once he was announced starting at that center position, switched over to him. He was $3,000, looking for 15 points on him. He got to 35.5, so he was a very, very good hit yesterday. So overall, a little bit of a hit or miss day on the DraftKings side. Unfortunately, that Torrey Craig pick just was not good overall. Then on the FanDuel side, we had Tim Frazier, $3,900, looking for 19-20 points on him. He got to 24.5, so he was a hit. Josh Giddey, $6,400, looking for 32 points on him. He got to 62.6. He had a triple-double yesterday. He actually became the youngest player in NBA history to have a triple-double as well. About 10 times the value there. Very, very good pick on the FanDuel side yesterday. Then we had Jimmy Butler, $9,200, looking for 46 points on him. He got to 33.7. He was a miss. He played the minutes. He did all right. He just didn't do normal Jimmy Butler stuff. If he was like any other player, this would be an all right game. But since it was Jimmy Butler and we're looking for 46 out of him, just not quite there yesterday. Then we had Al Horford at $6,800, looking for 34 points on him. He got to 34.6, so he was ahead as well. Then last but not least, we had Jalen Smith once again, $5,300, looking for 27 points on him. He got to 38.4, so once again, he was a hit on the FanDuel side as well. So the FanDuel side was pretty good yesterday. The only real true miss was Jimmy Butler. Hopefully that's one that didn't kill you too bad overall. Hopefully Josh Giddey just kind of made up for some of those points for him regardless. But with that being said, we'll get moved over into the injuries and play for tonight's slate. So it is a 10-game slate tonight. Cross your fingers pending any game getting canceled or anything like that. But the way COVID's kind of going in the NBA, we never truly know, but it looks like we're kind of on the mend. Like a lot of these guys are starting to come back. Fingers crossed that we don't have any more major incidences like this throughout the rest of the season. But we're going to start off with the Houston Rockets, who are without Amani Brooks. Jarrell is out once again. Sengun's out. And then John Wall, who hasn't played yet this season, he's out as well. Eric Gordon and Kevin Porter Jr. both listed as questionable. Eric Gordon did end up sitting out yesterday. They played a lot of games recently, so that's no surprise there. Kevin Porter Jr. will see whether or not he plays or not tonight, though. Then for the Philadelphia 76ers, they're without Tyler Johnson, Powell, and Ben Simmons as well. Danny Green's questionable. We'll see if he's back tonight or not. And then Henry listed as a game-time decision as well. For the Charlotte Hornets, Vernon Carey and Scotty Lewis are both out once again. P.J. Washington is questionable to play. He's making his way back from the COVID list. Was not able to play yesterday. We'll see if he's back today or not. Then for the Washington Wizards, they're without Thomas Bryant, Spencer Dinwiddie, Anthony Gill, Rui Hachimura, Montrezl Harrell, Aaron Holiday, Raul Neto, and Brad Wanamaker once again. So pretty much the same guys out that we've been looking at for a little while now here. I believe Anthony Gill is a new one, though. Then for the Memphis Grizzlies, they're without Kyle Anderson. He's the newest one on this list for them. Dylan Brooks, Buchanan, John Concher, D'Anthony Melton, and Xavier Tillman. Looks like Jared Culver, Xavier Williams, Yves Pons are all listed as game-time decisions. We'll see if any of those three are back tonight. If one of them is back, they could be a pretty good value overall on tonight's slate. Then for the Brooklyn Nets, they are without Joe Harris and Kyrie Irving once again, and the LaMarcus Aldridge is listed as questionable to play. We'll see whether or not he plays or not tonight. Moving down to the Utah Jazz, Azubuike's out once again. Hassan Whiteside dealing with a concussion. He's questionable. And then Eric Paschall is also questionable. I believe it's a personal issue that he's been dealing with lately. And then for the New Orleans Pelicans, obviously Zion Williamson's still out. Tomas Satoransky is out now. I believe he's on the COVID list. And then Didi Lozada is out once again. Jonas Valanciunas and Brandon Ingram are both questionable to play today. They're probably their two best players left on this team, so they could definitely use them today. Otherwise, it might not be too pretty for them overall, but we'll see whether or not they end up playing today or not. For the Orlando Magic, they're getting a little bit healthier now, so we're pretty much down to mainly the guys that weren't playing already this season. Michael Carter-Williams, Markelle Fultz, Jonathan Isaac, and Etuan Moore. We also have Robin Lopez, Chuma Okeke, and Jalen Suggs still out as well. Cole Anthony could be back tonight. He's questionable to play. We'll see whether or not he's actually back or not. For Chicago Bulls, they're without Tony Bradley, Alex Caruso, Tyler Cook, Javonte Green, Alfonso McKinney, Simonich, and Patrick Williams. So pretty much the same thing we're looking at there. Lonzo Ball may be back tonight. He's not listed as out at this point in time. They don't have him listed in the starting lineup either, so we'll see what ends up happening with that overall. Then for the Detroit Pistons, they are without Jeremy Grant, Frank Jackson, Corey Joseph, Kelly Olynyk, and now Derek Walton as well. I believe this is Chris Smith, recently signed with the team, and then Isaiah Stewart. They're both listed as game time decisions, so we'll see whether or not they play or not. They did get a couple guys back now, most notably Killian Hayes, Cade Cunningham as well, so that could shake out that starting lineup once again. Some of these other guys that have been performing pretty well, Hamidou Diallo, Sadiq Bey, heck, even Luka Garza, so they're probably going to return to lesser roles at this point in time. For the Milwaukee Bucks, Semi Ojeleye, Brook Lopez, Dante DiVincenzo, and Thanasis are all listed as out at this point in time. Chris Middleton is questionable to play. I believe he missed the last time out with a personal reason, so we'll see if he's back today or not. I will assume that he is going to be back today, but we'll just have to see. Then for the Denver Nuggets, we have Jeff Green, Marcus Howard, Bones Highland, Monte Morris, Jamal Murray, and Zeke Naji all listed as out. Austin Rivers and Cam Carr both listed as game time decisions, but both expected to play. Campazzo should be taking that spot of Monte Morris once again, and he really balled out the last time, so that was great to see. For the Dallas Mavericks side, they are without Willie Cauley-Stein, Brandon Knight, Boban, Ja'Cory McLaughlin, and Isaiah Thomas once again. Trey Burke looking like he has a chance to play in tonight's game. Moving down to the Miami Heat, still a bunch of guys out for them with Bam Adebayo, Cheat Ham, Dwayne Dedmon, Marcus Garrett, Markieff Morris, Victor Oladipo, Duncan Robinson, PJ Tucker, and Gabe Vincent. Udonis Haslem, KZ Okpala, and Max Strus are all listed as game time decisions. We'll see if any of those guys are back for tonight's game. Then on the Warriors side, they are without Klay Thompson and James Wiseman. Looks like Draymond Green should be back tonight, so we'll see if he's back or not, but definitely a big boost to their team if he is overall. So they're pretty much back to full health at this point in time. For the Atlanta Hawks, they are without Bogdan Bogdanovic, John Collins, Gorgie Dieng, Ellison, Hill, Hunter, and Jalen Johnson. Then all these other guys are listed as game time decisions at this point in time. Cam Reddish, who ended up getting hurt again the last time out, I do believe it was. Might have been 2 games ago by now. Sharif Cooper, Gallinari, Kevin Huerter, TLC, Okongwu, and DeLon Wright are all listed as game time decisions. We'll see who ends up playing out of that group tonight. Then on the Trailblazers side, we got Damian Lillard out. That's the big new one now. Then CJ McCollum, Cameron McGriff, and Brian Williams. Anthony Simons, Cody Zeller, and Joseph Nurkic are all listed as game time decisions. Hopefully, some of these guys play because they're going to really need it tonight. Anthony Simons, if he does end up playing, if he ends up starting in that point guard position, going to look like a good value overall tonight. Then for the Minnesota Timberwolves, D'Angelo Russell, Karl Anthony Towns, and McKinley Wright, they're all listed as game time decisions, so there's a chance that they are back today. Then we move over to the Clippers, who were without Brandon Boston, Paul George, Isaiah Hartenstein, Luke Kennard, Kawhi Leonard, Preston, Wright, and Zubac as well. Nick Batum is questionable to play. Jay Scrubb has a chance of making his way back today. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries in play for tonight's slate. I know there's a ton of them. There's going to be a ton of injury updates, COVID news throughout the day, and I'm going to be covering that all down in the comments, so definitely be sure you're checking up on that throughout the day as well, especially as we get closer to lock. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So we're going to start off at the point guard position. I'm going to go with Anthony Simons. Like I mentioned, if he's back today, if he's in that starting line, I'm going to be a very good value overall. So I'm going to assume that he's back today. If he's not, then obviously we can look at some Dennis Smith because he's going to be quite the value overall. But Anthony Simons is $4,100, looking for 21 points out of him, averaging almost 20 on the season. Got projected for 22 points tonight. Then at shooting guard, got Terrence Ross. He returned yesterday, played rather well, had 33 real life points. Don't expect that to happen once again today, but he was shooting the ball rather well. He was playing decent minutes before he went on the COVID list as well. $4,400, looking for 22 points out. I currently have him projected for 24 points tonight. Then at small forward, we're going to go with Norman Powell, $6,500. A little bit of a priced up spot for him, but you're looking for 33 points out of him. Got him projected for 34 points tonight. Should take a big uptick without Damian Lillard in this game overall. Then at power forward, we're going to go right back to Serge Ibaka, $3,700. Hasn't been playing quite as big of minutes as some people would expect, but looking for 18, 19 points out. I'm going to project for about 20 points once again, looking like a pretty good value on today's slate. Maybe this is one that changes throughout the day if we do have more value open up. Then at center position, we had Rudy Gobert, $8,700. Looking for 43, 44 points out. I'm going to project it for 44, 45 points tonight. Should be a pretty good matchup for him against the Pelicans team overall as well. He's been playing very, very well so far this season. So Rudy Gobert, definitely a guy, not the cheapest in the world, but a little bit pay down spot from his normal price on tonight's slate overall. I will also mention Christian Wood, $6,200. Looks like a good play at the center position. However, the last time out, they had him on the bench. They benched him. He played 8 minutes in that game. They tried to have him come back for another rotation, and he refused to come off the bench. So if he's in that starting lineup tonight, I feel comfortable playing him. If he's not in that starting lineup, there's no way in heck I'd play him. But it's a very good price tag, so I at least figured that I would mention that on tonight's slate. So if you're playing in like a big GPP or something like that, maybe take a couple shots at Christian Wood tonight. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players, you have $22,600 remaining, just over $7,500 per player. So maybe pay up for one pay up option, find some values elsewhere, or a little bit more balanced approach today overall. The number's a little bit lower than I usually have, mainly because we already have Rudy Gobert in that core 5. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So point guard position, going right back to Anthony Simons once again. $3,700, looking for 18, 19 points out of him. Got him projected for 21 points tonight. Has a little bit of upside for more if he's out there, if he's playing big minutes, and he's playing well. Once again, if he does not end up playing, Dennis Smith Jr. is going to look pretty good at that point guard position tonight. Then at shooting guard, we got Will Barton. Been playing him a lot lately, or recommending him a lot lately, I should at least say. $6,100. Looking for 30, 31 points out of him tonight. Averaging about 30 points on the season. Currently have him projected for 31 points tonight. Then at small forward, we're going right back to Norman Powell once again. $6,000. Looking for 30 points at him. Got him projected for 33 points on the FanDuel side tonight. Looking like a pretty good value play overall, especially with no Damian Lillard out there tonight. Then at power forward, we're going to Kyle Kuzma. $6,800. His price tag keeps going up just a little bit, but looking for 34 points out of him. He's been playing very, very well as of late. Still no Spencer Dinwiddie to take away some of the usage as well, so it's just really him and Bradley Beal at this point in time. Got him projected for 36 points tonight. Then at center position, we got his teammate Daniel Gafford. $6,100. Looking for 30, 31 points out of him. Got him projected for 31 points once again tonight. He's been playing very, very well. Not quite as many minutes the last time out, but if he can get those minutes back up once again tonight, definitely offers a ton of upside as well, especially on that FanDuel side where you get more rewards for blocks, which Daniel Gafford has been known to do at times throughout his career. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players on the FanDuel side, you have $31,300, just over $7,800 per player. So you could probably pay up for 2 studs on tonight's slate and then find some other cheap values as well, or take a little bit more balanced approach, as that's something we've seen work rather well on the FanDuel side so far this season. But with that being said, these are my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, January 3rd. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's on FanDuel or DraftKings. And then, as always, I'll be listing all the injury updates, COVID news, and starting lineups down in the comments, as well as that updated core about 20 to 30 minutes prior to lock as well. So definitely be sure you're checking out down in the comments around that time, because you're going to get all the news that you're going to need for tonight's slate. But with that being said, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you with your fantasy football teams. And then with that being said, if you are new or current subscribers yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.